Few names have stood the test of time with as much reverence in football as Johan Cruyff. More than just a player, more than just a coach, Cruyff was an idea. A silent revolution that transformed the way we think, play, and feel the game. His story begins in the neighborhood of Bettendorp in Amsterdam on April 25, 1947. The son of a greengrocer and passionate about Ajax from an early age, Johan was a restless child, with the ball always glued to his feet. Still a boy, he lost his father, a trauma that marked him deeply, but also awakened in him an early maturity and a sense of freedom that would be reflected in the way he played. Cruyff was not just talented, he saw the game differently. He joined Ajax's youth academy at age 10, and by 17 he had debuted for the first team. On the pitch, he was a light, intelligent forward, gifted with exceptional vision. He could play as a center forward, midfielder, or winger, but above all he played with his mind. It was with coach Rinus Michels that Cruyff found his tactical mirror. Together they developed the concept that would change football forever: total football. In this philosophy, fixed positions were abolished. Players switched roles, occupied empty spaces, and the team moved as a living organism. Every player had to understand the game as a whole. It was football built on intelligence, creativity, and collectivity. At Ajax, Cruyff shone as the symbol of this new style. Between 1964 and 1973, he won 8 Dutch league titles, 5 KNVB Cups, and most notably, 3 consecutive European Cups between 1971 and 1973. He was named European Footballer of the Year 3 times. But what impressed the most wasn't just the numbers. It was the aesthetics. Cruyff's Ajax played beautifully, played with boldness, and Johan was the maestro. In 1973, he transferred to Barcelona for a record fee at the time. Spain was still under Franco's dictatorship, and Barça represented resistance. Cruyff quickly became a Catalan icon, helping the club win its first Spanish league title in 14 years, including a historic 5-0 win over Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. But his legacy in Barcelona would go far beyond the pitch. Cruyff planted ideas. He influenced the way the club thought about football, the importance of youth development, the value of local talent, the possession game, and controlling the rhythm. Years later, those ideas would bloom in Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, and Guardiola, all direct heirs of Cruyff's school. Meanwhile, with the Dutch national team, Cruyff starred in one of football's greatest epics. In the 1974 World Cup, the Netherlands enchanted the world with their total football. With Cruyff as captain and brain of the team, the Dutch eliminated giants like Argentina and Brazil, reaching the final against Germany. Despite losing 2-1, the team entered history as a symbol of beauty and innovation. The Netherlands didn't win the World Cup, but they earned the eternal respect of the footballing world. Cruyff retired as a player in the early 1980s, after spells in the USA, Spain, and back in the Netherlands. But his second act was just beginning, as a coach. In 1985, he took charge of Ajax and immediately began implementing his offensive model: technical players, triangles, possession, and building from the back. He was the first coach to give real protagonism to the youth academy, developing players like Dennis Bergkamp. In 1988, he returned to Barcelona, this time as coach, and there he would leave his greatest legacy. He created the so-called Dream Team, which dominated Spanish football and won the club's first ever UEFA Champions League in 1992. But more than trophies, Cruyff instituted a culture. He restructured La Masia, the club's youth academy, defined principles of play, and established an identity that would influence every generation that followed. Guardiola was his top disciple. Xavi and Iniesta grew under his system, and Messi flourished in an ecosystem born from his ideas. Cruyff was demanding, nearly stubborn. He rejected pragmatism. He used to say, "If you have the ball, the opponent can't score." For him, football was above all a game of intelligence, courage, and beauty. Off the field, he was controversial, authentic, provocative. He never feared challenging the system, as a player or as a coach. He criticized federations, clashed with executives, and spoke his mind. He was a thinker, and at times, a rebel. Cruyff also fought battles off the pitch. In the 1990s, he suffered a heart attack and quit smoking. Later, he battled lung cancer, which would take his life in March 2016. Until the end, he remained active, writing columns, sharing insights, and defending his legacy. Today, his name is immortalized not only in stadiums and statues, but in the DNA of clubs, national teams, and managers. Guardiola's Barcelona, today's Manchester City, Spain's World Cup winning team, the rebirth of Ajax. All of these projects share a common root: Johan Cruyff. More than a legend, he was a visionary. More than trophies, he left a philosophy. In a world where many play for results, Cruyff reminded us that football can also be art, freedom, and thought. Playing football is simple. The hardest thing is to play simple. Cruyff didn't just play simple, he simplified the game for the world. Cruyff planted the seed of possession football, creative freedom, and intelligence at Masia. His philosophy shaped the ground where Messi would later flourish. A style that valued thinking before running, passing before dribbling, created the perfect environment for the Argentine star to conquer the world. Cruyff didn't coach Messi. He foresaw him.